Welcome back to What's Your Passion podcast. And now here's your host, Rene Manfre.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my second, I think that's our second episode, right, Andy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we had a tester episode a couple of months ago, but this is truly my second episode. So welcome to my podcast. My name is Rene Manfre. What's Your Passion? The reason for this podcast is basically just to bring information, education, knowledge for individuals who are trying to change their life in any which way. What's Your Passion was created over the last 3 years when I started it, and it was really just to basically facilitate people through the process of where they are, where they want to be, driving their passion, different areas and understanding of really what it is and what it's going to take to really be able to live your life and do really what you want, when you want, and how you want. So tonight's kind of just some topics that I'm going through my own personal life and business. And I'm going to share some different things that I hope every time I do a podcast, the goal is either to bring you value in some which way, shape, or form that can help you in some which way that maybe you're going through something in your own personal life or somebody else you might think of, or give you some tidbits of things that maybe can get you to the next step. My conversations on a daily basis is just really just majority of individuals who are in my circles are all looking at ways of how to grow their business, how to expand their business, or different vehicles. And in my history of business and things of that nature, I find myself always trying to get better. I'm driven to get better because I don't like staying stagnant and I don't like staying comfortable. I've been in different industries in my life, in my career, and every time you get comfortable, something occurs, and it's either a natural catastrophe, political, or just in general, corporate America makes changes that sometimes not in your benefit. So if you can relate to me on some of this, I would love to see some chats tonight. Give me some information, give me some feedback. But I'm going to start off with, overcoming obstacles when you're trying to build a business or when you're trying to just really do something different. The obstacles that come into your life on a daily basis is somewhat overwhelming. And sometimes the people on how you react to the obstacle can either make you or break you, right? And you have to really kind of get stronger and you have to get tougher mentally. It really is, life is a mental game. And I find a lot of individuals that I'm finding are going through some challenges with depression. They're going through some areas of mental health. They're going through some different struggles in just believing in themselves. And we've had these conversations with Andy and some of our groups that we have a lot of things going on with a lot of people right now in America, financially, families, deaths, things of that nature. And overcoming those obstacles is really what I say is wake up each day and try to put yourself into watching or listening to positive individuals. And YouTube has really changed the world to where you can just listen to different people on a daily basis that can help you just get through that mind, that little difficult, that time when you might be feeling down. But if you just put yourself into a position where you're open to learning and listening, and click on a Tony Robbins video, click on something of a positive video. Ed Millett is one who I follow very much right now because I think he's really in that space of helping people mentally get through some things. But overcoming those obstacles is one of my biggest subjects that I wanted to press on tonight, is just really reach out and collaboration with other people. Make sure that whoever you're talking to on a daily basis is not going through the same problems you're going through, because that's just going to bring you down a rabbit hole, right? So you want to try to stay focused that if you are going through some challenges, try not to get really hanging out with the same group of people, because you're going to go down a rabbit hole and it's going to get worse. The second thing is staying in control and creative mode. So if you have a pencil and paper, all I want to do tonight is really just be open with you on some areas of what I'm doing in my career and my life. Is I'm building a business that is really encompassing a lot of different people. And when I started What's Your Passion, the whole goal really is to become a global company to where we can help people facilitate through the process. I'm bringing in resources of different people that are specialized in different areas, whether it's marketing, real estate, areas of insurance. We have certain individuals who are in that mental health areas that they're going to be sharing information. So by doing this and bringing in a lot of different individuals, it's like herding cats. So like any business, you have to really kind of become good and stronger as a leader so you can make sure that people are moving in the right direction, because sometimes everyone needs some type of coach. They need somebody to direct them. And that's really what your passion is. What your passion is just basically becoming a community that we want to bring people in who are looking for help. I can't help people who don't want to be helped. And I've come to that realization for myself that you want to pull people into a better space, but if they're kicking and making it difficult, sometimes you just got to let them go. So when you let individuals go or things in your life go, to where they're going to come around when they're ready, because they have to get to that point to where you are being received to them in a correct way. Now, when I say that, sometimes maybe the resources that we're building our community, that it's kind of like being a parent. Andy, can you relate to this? So your mom and dad told you some things when you were younger, right? They told you not to do this, not to do that. Don't drink and drive, or don't go down the street to there. But you did it, right? And something happened, right? But then all of a sudden, somebody else comes into the life that maybe a brother or aunt or somebody else tells you the same thing, and you finally listen to that person. Does that ever happen?
No, I'm a perfect angel. I always did everything I was told. Now, of course, it's happened. I'm stubborn by nature. I can't help it.
And I think, I share that, and I bring Andy in on that because sometimes I need somebody else to talk to, because looking at the screen is sometimes difficult, but I'm getting used to it. So as we're going through this, sometimes you're trying to tell individuals or share with individuals certain things, and sometimes they might not be hearing you in the right way or the right tone, or they might be receiving it differently from somewhere else. So staying in control and creative mode is my second topic, is really just being able to stay focused on what your daily activity is and what you need to do to accomplish getting to the next step. And when you're building something, sometimes you have to put yourself in a position where you're consistently learning every day a little bit at a time. So it might be reading something, or it might be listening to something, or going into a networking event, or whatever it may be, but something every day. You have to be improving yourself to where confidence only comes from when you're learning something. So staying in control and creative mode basically means to me is that I'm just got to keep in pace what I'm doing and what I know that I have to do, and creating conversations that I can somewhat control to get to the next level. But at the same time, being creative is always constantly thinking maybe a different way, or more of a faster way to get to the end result. Like today, I reached out to an association, my lawn care company. We're growing that this year, and I'm very focused on growing that business. So I'm constantly looking at, who is it that I have to partner with, or what organizations do I have to get in contact with so I can grow faster instead of the slow route. And that's where I'm reaching out to construction companies. I'm reaching out to apartment associations that they have like thousands of members that are owners and property managers. So I'm focusing on a daily basis that what is it that I have to get into that's going to give me exposure to the more of the pool of people that I'm trying to really get my business into. So staying in control and creative mode, that's the second conversation. And balancing growth conversations is my third topic. So balancing growth conversations is, I find myself that I get into conversations on a daily basis, and I'm really very intentional that I'm only really focused on growth conversations. I don't spend a lot of time on a phone, especially during the daytime. So when you look at your time in a day, you really only have somewhere between 8 to maybe 8 o'clock at night, right? And as a business owner, that's pretty much our time frame. Now, sometimes it goes to 10 o'clock at night, but that's your time frame as a business owner. Now, average employees time frame might be from 9 to 5 or 9 to 3, right? So they don't want to talk about anything else after that point. But as a business owner, if you are trying to build a business and you're trying to get yourself understanding the different things that you need to do, you have to stay focused on that time frame and say, okay, between this time frame, I really have to be focused on those growth conversations. And give you an example today, I've had really some great conversations today, but it all came from me intentionally reaching out. So I reached out to a friend of mine that's been a good friend, becoming a great mentor, and we really kind of got on a conversation about real estate and what we're really doing with the real estate and how to grow it faster, and looking at different opportunities that you or that we've seen the bigger picture, right? So you can stay with the traditional real estate method that we've been doing for years, buying small homes, flipping them, fixing them up. But then we start looking at, okay, we can pretty much go over here in this other space and buy bigger properties and have a bigger cash flow from it and a better return. So it's the same amount of time. And sometimes it's easier to buy a bigger property versus a smaller property, and especially if it's cash flowing. So I get on this subject a lot with some individuals because we're building our real estate team out of what we're doing, what's your passion. So we have different sections that are branching off, and it's really exciting that as I'm starting to do these podcasts, you're going to have different individuals come on that are in these different spaces. Yesterday we had I think what was yesterday? Was it yesterday, Monday or Sunday? Yes, was it? Yesterday was Monday, right? Today's Tuesday, Andy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm getting messed up with my days. So yesterday I had a really great day. You're going to see these episodes coming out in the next few weeks, or probably next week. Henry Bolden, which is, he's in a ministry, 29 years, has a tremendous organization. He's been in the ministry ever since he was almost 8 years old. And it's really a great history because he grew up in the ministry, but he's written really some great books. He does ministry and leadership conferences with leaders across the country. And so that episode you'll look forward to. So we're going to launch that episode very soon. But at the same time, I had another conversation with Rene Stockstill about real estate and wholesaling, different things that we've been friends for some years, and we've kind of know the different markets. So we had a really good conversation about wholesaling, flipping, just the real estate market in general, and some different in areas of conversation. So that's another part. So you're going to see as my conversations go into different areas to where it's not only about coaching, mindset, and things of business, but at the same time, we have a real estate group that we're developing to where if you are looking to get into real estate from either a real estate career, if you're looking at getting into real estate from a real estate investor, buying a home, selling a home, things of that nature, we have our other real estate division. So if you ever have any questions, you can please feel free to give me a call, reach out. I'll be glad to help you. So balancing growth conversations is really the first or the third part of tonight's presentation, is just really staying in growth conversations. I had another conversation with a friend who I mentioned that I was doing EV charging stations. So I have another partnership which is AMP Stations. And we are started, I guess we're about a year and a half into that process of really creating some locations across the interstate corridors to help solve the problem for EV charging stations. They don't have enough EV charging infrastructure built. And here in Louisiana, where I'm at down south, it's not really prominent yet. So it's what I call a blue ocean. A blue ocean is something that's very unique. I don't have a lot of competition in it. But we got on a good conversation with a company tonight that's been in the space for a while that we may be to partner up with. But that came from me intentionally, again, talking to a friend about it and he thought about a friend. And so it all is coming to where people and connections. You're not going to get anything big in your life unless you have these growth conversations. And when you put it out there into the universe, it's amazing what happens. One person gets it and say, wow, okay, I never thought about that. Let me think. And they call and make a phone call. So that was really just I have a bunch of stories for today, but just that was really one of them. Let's focus on the fourth point I want to make tonight is keeping team results focused. Okay. So when you're building a team and you have different pieces of the puzzle, you have to, as a leader, try to keep the individuals focused on their task. And if you can keep different individuals focused on their task to help them get better at what they need to do, then it makes the whole system kind of come together faster, because you have certain individuals that are part of your organization that are good at certain things, but they can't balance sticks maybe as fast, right? So I always call spinning plates. So let's say you put up a broomstick and then you put a plate on top and you spin it, right? So once you get that thing spinning good, then you can set up the other stick. So the same thing with your team. You have to kind of each day reach out to your team and intentionally get them to focus on or let you know where they are and what you need to help them get to the next point of really what they need to be doing. And as I'm having these conversations with my team that I'm growing, certain individuals, it's exposing myself to where I have to consistently become a better leader, and I have to consistently make sure that they're on task and they're focused on the next outcome. So that is really, that's a key if you're trying to really grow right now a business, if you're trying to grow and leverage yourself to where it's not just you, it's bringing in some other individuals around you that have strengths that you don't have. And I'm very open when I talk to individuals that when you're building a business, don't think that you are going to be the person that's going to create everything. You can be just a good artist. And when I say an artist, is that it's just painting the picture for everyone to understand where we're going and why we're going to that location. But at the same time, helping everyone that is on the bus or on the train to understand, hey, these are the different things that we need you to do, so the team can move faster. And I'll bring my lawn care business into it, that my manager, Mason's a great manager. I have different, Charles and Noah. I mean, I have such a great team that it's just, they're moving. And I had to drive around today and I saw my crew working at some job sites, and it's just really watching my team sometimes makes me really excited because, they're good guys and they're really hard working. They're faithful to me. And then same thing. That's why I want to keep on getting better, because I owe it to them to give them a stable job, give them a stable income, give them a future. And that's why it's very passionate for me for what I do. Is I don't do this just for me. I'm not doing this podcast just for me. I'm doing this podcast for you, hoping that maybe something I share in this podcast can help you feel my passion, that you have to always step up your game. And if you're just doing a job just to go to a job, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy unless you put something inside of yourself saying that you have a purpose on this world. You have a passion. And when you have that purpose and passion, time just flies by. It doesn't, I don't look at the clock. I don't look at eating at certain points of time. I eat whenever my stomach gets to the point where I just got to eat or drink. So I don't have a time schedule. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. I got to go to lunch. And when you get to that point in your life where you don't really think about all that because you're so driven on your purpose and passion, it's a whole different realm. It's a whole different feeling of excitement. And is it easy? No. Building a business is not easy, but it's exciting. And only if you really understand why we are the way we are. So keeping team focused and results focused is what that was point on. The other topic that when I say reality of building a thriving business, the reality of building a thriving business does, again, encompass a lot of different leaders. And I was talking to Henry Bolden yesterday that's built this huge ministry. And we were having this conversation that, for him, he has over 700 to 1,000 members that come into his organization. And he has different groups set up for all different things, marriage counselors. He has new marriage people who are getting married. You got financial conversations. He's got and the groups that basically focus on mental health and depression, things of that nature. So he's developed leaders inside of his church. So it's not just him. Now he plugs into a lot of these meetings and groups, but he's only one person, right? So when you get to the point of building a church, it's the same thing as building a business. You have to get to the point where you have to release you have to release it and grow leaders around you, not just people who want to just come and serve. And at the same time, what that does, it helps those individuals that are in there receive their power of becoming more confident and becoming more of a servant. And when that happens, your company, your business, your church really kind of grows faster. And you have leverage. You have leverage through people. So I want to share, I have an article here that has five ways that entrepreneurs can get ahead of potential recession. I'm going to read just the different points off of this. But so far, how are we looking on? Do we have any questions at this point yet, Andy?
No, we've got a couple folks saying hello. We've got Christy Green that says hello. So glad you're doing this, Rene. Glad to be a part of your journey. Rebecca Adams says hello.
Well, Rebecca, thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate you being on, buddy. Christy, always. Me and Christy have been friends for going on 30 years, and I got her working with me, and her son's just a great young man. That's going to be part of our What's Your Passion young entrepreneurs. We're putting that group together, so I'm looking forward to Trent being part of that. And my grandson Chase, we had a good conversation today, and that's part of, again, my team and my conversation that I'm working with him on. He's really good and at certain things like video editing, copying, and things of that nature, but he wasn't focused on selling himself. So I really had to get on him today that you got to put people out. You got to show your stuff. You got to get out there and show what your skills are so you can grow your business. And now he's starting to kind of click. He's like, he's doing all this for some other individuals, editing their videos, helping with copywriting. He started up several YouTube channels for individuals, plus himself. And now we're getting to the point to where he's starting to realize that he needs to really become a leader so I can have him lead that young adult group, because I'm not the one. I can only facilitate, but he's going to have a better connection with the younger individuals to relate that, hey, he's changed his life in 4 months. And only because he's consistently doing little things, but then I'm having these conversations with him every day. And I have a little bit of a temper. You know that? Did you know that, Andy?
I can maybe see a little undercurrent going on there.
So my temper comes out a little bit when I see people not listen. And I do that to get their attention. And I do it to where I can get them to really understand how important it is to take the step and take the move and be focused on what they're doing versus getting relaxed or comfortable. So we had a really good conversation, and I'm going to have him on the show very soon also. So how businesses are pivoting right now. And I just want to go through some of these 5 different areas, and it's 5 ways that entrepreneurs can get ahead of the potential recession.
Rene, before you get into that, I'm a little bit confused. Rebecca is Lane Adams, I think.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. That's Lane. Okay, that's Lane. Lane, I was trying to get in touch with you tonight. Let's see. I wanted to get her on so we can have a little brief conversation.
Well, we could always.
How do you do that?
We could put the phone line up.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you give her the phone number? Because I would like to have her call in, and we can have a brief conversation about some of the things that her and I have been talking about with the networking group before I go into this last. I'll save this for last.
Okay. And there was a question. What's the top 3 things these young entrepreneurs need to know to get started?
For the young entrepreneurs, they really have to be, the mindset is really the biggest part, is really helping them understand that the mindset of an entrepreneur is having a great attitude, being respectful. And I know these are minor, they don't sound important, but these are the things we have to help them understand, that having a job is a good thing. They have to work doing something for somebody before they can be an entrepreneur. And I find in my conversations with some of the young youth is that they're thinking that they can make this money and they can become these individuals like that all of a sudden, right? And I have to sometimes step in and let them understand that, listen, I have been an employee, and I was the best employee that I could be, and my name is everything. So you are a brand. So if I can tell any young person today, or even older, that your name is a brand, and this world right now is basically saying that, hey, we are accepting the fact that you are a brand, and whatever value you can bring to the organization will make you more valuable. And if it makes any sense, that all I'm trying to make sure that young individuals understand the importance of getting a job, working hard, showing up, have a good attitude. If you just do that, you have a steady income. Because the challenge I'm finding, most people are there, they're going to work, they're talking on the phone, they have bad attitudes. Me as an employer, I'm looking all day long at my guys and my crew and the people who are around me. And they don't last very long around my environment. And so as an employer, we're not looking for people to come in and have a bad attitude and not there really focused. So if I can give any advice for the young adults, is really, and I don't know if I've gone over that 1, 2, 3, but it's attitude, it's showing up, and it's be willing to be a servant. If I can say those 3 things: attitude, showing up, and being a servant. And taking advantage of the opportunity of learning versus trying to be an entrepreneur from day one, because it's not possible. You have to understand the steps and you have to understand the mechanics. So you might be very good at painting, but just because you're good at painting, that doesn't mean you're an entrepreneur yet. You have to learn how to sell the painting. And then you have to learn how to duplicate that numerous times so you can create a consistent revenue stream that comes in, that gives you that confidence over time. Then you got to learn the back end stuff of taxes. I'll give you an example. We put that number out for Lane?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Lane, you can call in on that. I'm about to wrap up on this conversation. We can have a brief conversation about our goals, what we're doing. Okay. So on that basic subject of that is having these individuals and these young individuals understand the power of, 1, attitude, showing up, and learning. And then I share this with most people. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is basically something I'm teaching on, which is employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. So we're an employee and you have taxes that are coming out. So I tell everyone, start up a side business before you ever decide to leave your employee, because you're not ready there. You're an employee. Take advantage of everything you can. Start up your side business, and then from there we can show you how to write off taxes to where you can get money that's coming out of your taxes back. So that's already automatically you're making money before throughout the year. But at the same time, the skills you're going to get by becoming an self-employed while you're an employee, the time that you can learn, it takes a couple of years to really learn every aspect of what it takes to run your own business, lead people, understand accounting, understand insurance, understand the different programs and platforms that's needed to require that steady income flow. So you're not putting yourself in a position to where you're having to make money. If you treat your employer and take that opportunity where that's income coming in and they're paying you, kind of like an independent contractor, right? So always look at yourself and say, I'm going to work. I'm getting paid for my service while I'm building my side business. And that's going to give you really a better attitude also, and appreciation of really to understand what your employer does for you. So if that helps answer any questions, I hope that helped. So Lane, are you calling in?
I'm not sure if you can see the number in the chat. However, the number, oh, there we go. Looks like we got a call right now. Stand by.
If y'all don't mind in the chat, was that helpful? Those little points, if y'all can just let me know, was that helpful? And I'll go in more deep into that in further videos and conversations. Christy said it was perfect. Thanks.
Here we go. Lane, you're on the line. Go ahead, please.
Hi, everyone. Good night.
Hello,
How's
Lane.
everybody's night going? How's everybody's night going, Renee?
Mine's going fine. Christy's going fine. Everybody's looking like they're fine. They're wide awake and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
All right. All right.
So Lane and I have been friends for, I think over 20 years. And her and I, we started networking groups back before networking groups really started. And we would have different events. We would have individuals coming in to lunches and lunch and learns, things of that nature. And it was really just that, I believe, is a big factor of what helped myself and many others that I feel that really became really good at being able to communicate your vision, who you are, what you do. But Lane has built organizations throughout the different part of the state of Louisiana and probably across the country to where she has following of people. She's in a process of, I think she has 2 books, and we're going to help her finish those 2 books. And I think so Lane, just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, your passion, and where we are right now, what we're doing to revamp some of the different networking groups. Lane?
So basically, I just want to thank you all for getting on and taking the first step. Okay. I'm here.
Okay. That's it. Do you want to say nothing else?
Yeah, it's like an echo, Renee.
Oh, it's echoing.
No, I am like an echo. I'm going to keep on talking. Anyway, basically, I have
Okay.
Where's the echo coming from?
I'm not sure. Is there an echo on your end, Andy?
No, I'm not getting an echo. It could just be a bad phone connection.
Let me call back.
Okay.
Okay. It's always technical difficulties when you're trying to do this. We lost internet. She has to get off the line when she's on the phone. Is that? I think Chrissy said that. Is that Andy?
Yeah, she's probably trying to watch. While she's talking.
Oh,
but
I got you. So she's going to have to get off that. So before she comes back, so basically, how business is
too late. She's back. Hi, Lane.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, are you
Is
better?
that better?
Now?
Yeah, much better. We had an echo. It was bad.
So tell us a little bit of real brief on where you are, what you've been doing, and where you are right now with the
Sure.
group.
So basically, my name is Lane Adams. I was born and reared and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I finished LSU, and after finishing LSU, I went into ophthalmology, and I had my own eyeglass and contact lens business.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't realize that neither.
All right.
Lane, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So go on.
And I And I had struggles with the business. And that's when I had the networking that was offered to me. And the networking was building different groups in the city of New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Slidell, West Bank, and Metairie and Kenner. Those actual networking groups saved my business, okay, because we had 9/11, we had LASIK surgery, I couldn't compete with the doctors. So the networking actually saved my business for 9 years. I started the group in 2001 and ran for 19 years. My mom and dad got real sick, and I moved back to Baton Rouge to take care of them. And that's when I opened up the Baton Rouge chapter. But we had a total of about over 2,000 members total in all of New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and surrounding areas. Renee and I did some wonderful events together. And what we found is that teamwork makes the dream work. If you're not working together and you don't have a passion about what you're doing, you're going to be bankrupt in a matter of days. I was faced with 49 cents in my bank account, and that pushed me to doing the networking. I suggest that everyone that is in business come to these networking events that Renee and I are going to put together. We will show you how it grows. It grows like wildfire. Basically, what I have to say is if it hadn't been for networking, I would have never stayed in business.
I spent over 3 decades in the military, and that's one of the hallmarks of what we preach. You have to network. You can't do it all on your own. And part of having that network is knowing who to go to, but more importantly, when to go to them.
Right, exactly. And nowadays, there's so many scam artists out there, and you want a good referral. If you need your carpets clean, you want to know that you need to call Bob Rispoli or whoever. You don't want to send them just to anybody in the book. The yellow pages don't even exist anymore, and everybody's going by referral now.
Correct.
I still use the yellow pages, to be honest with you.
Do you?
I do.
You sound like my father.
No, it's sitting in
now,
my...
I am a certified...
It's sitting in my chair. It helps me sit up a little bit higher.
I am a certified network strategist. I have taken the courses with Laurel Langmeyer and different network people all over the country. And I have my book, and they're getting ready to get published. One's called Get in the Right Lane with Lang. The other one's A to Z Networking. And I believe that both books is essential for proper networking and thriving in your business, not just surviving. You have to have goals set. You have to have 90-day goal plan.
Good. No, I appreciate that. That's so true. You got to have the goals, and you really have to stay focused on every day getting better. And the collaboration is just, again, you can't do anything in today's times really by yourself. You have to reach out to where the only way I'm going to get better, the only way you're going to get better, the only way we all going to get better is you have to really find individuals that are around you that can help you get better and answer questions that you're not knowing. And like you said, even though you have a lot of stuff on the internet, it's still overwhelming. It's a lot of noise, and sometimes you can go down a rabbit hole and not really get the true outcome.
Now, virtual networking is real big right now, and I started some virtual vendor groups a while back, right after COVID. And but now I'm actually getting phone calls from past members asking me, when are we going to do big events again, and when are we going to be face to face?
Correct.
So I think the virtual vendor events are kind of fading away.
No, I think the virtual events, they're not fading away. It's that we're still having to do these, like this podcast tonight. My goal is where we're going to have these online summits and these online webinars in addition to the local events. So as we start getting into
Right.
but you got to do both in today's times. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to really attract people in different states and different countries, because I feel that, even though we're based here in Louisiana, we're missing out on so many different people that's in the world. And I've been able to create relationships with individuals in different areas of the states that it was the power of doing the online events in addition to our local events. And as we start growing, Lane, the goal is to where we can start growing in different states and growing networking events in addition to the Louisiana. And then over time, then we can bring in different events where we can have people coming in from different parts all at once. So we're basically
So I was really amazed, Rene, because I offered my courses free during COVID. I offered them free, just basically all over. And people didn't want to take the course, and it was free. It's like they were depressed. They couldn't pull themselves out of that rabbit hole.
No, I mean, I think a lot of people are about 20 minutes left. So, but a lot of people are just, it's again, you try your best to get them plugged into the system, and hopefully they can understand that the value of getting plugged into the system can help them get out of the rabbit hole. But if they don't plug into the system, they can't expect to be at a different level. And that's where the power of us people to understand. Now, when you're, and sometimes
so I worked with a lady by the name of Miss Wanell, and she wanted to get to the platinum level with paparazzi, and she's actually made it there almost because I've given her goals to follow and stuff. But she's supposed to be on to give her testimony, but I am basically offering that course free to any business entrepreneur that wants to be an entrepreneur. Okay.
Right.
Let's clarify what an entrepreneur is.
Okay.
So, Rene, in your own words, what is an entrepreneur?
I guess an entrepreneur to me is just someone who has a dream, a passion, a purpose, and they just have it to where they want to create a value and a solution for someone, and they just do whatever it takes to create that platform. And the more problems you solve, it just really kind of makes you into an entrepreneur. I mean, it's just solving problems.
Right. So basically the entrepreneurs that I've run across have had failures. When 2016 hit, their houses got flooded and their businesses went under. People in Lake Charles with Ida, so just because you're an entrepreneur, don't think you're not going to have failures, because you are.
Oh, yeah.
But it makes you stronger, and it makes you more passionate about what you're doing. So anyone that's on the broadcast that wants to learn more about goal setting, they could reach out to me. My number's 225-436-3531, and I will do the course for them free, because I want every person in business to have a chance that every day can be a fresh start.
And do you have that? Is that a PDF that you give them, or is that how do you give that course?
That would be a PDF, and then I'd work with them on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long does it take to kind of go through that course?
It's 90 days.
And you're doing that. You're doing that. You're doing that for not. You're doing that for free.
Yeah. For the month of February. Yes. Anybody that's on.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you. That's great.
January through February. So, I mean, because I want to see, and this is what I'm trying to tell you, we can put it out there, but you've got to be passionate about it.
And
you got to have passion.
What do they have to dedicate? Like, are they dedicating an hour a week, or how many hours per week to where you work with them? Now, you can't say 20. You can't say all the time because you can't do that.
No. It's an hour session. It's on a free conferencing line with other people.
Okay.
And it's an hour a week for 90 days.
All right, perfect. So when they call in for the 225-436-3531, then you'll give them the link of where they're going to go to on a weekly basis at whatever time it is, to where you go through that.
We're going to talk about their biggest challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give them, I'm a really good troubleshooter, just like you are.
Mm-hmm.
And we fix problems. So I'm going to give them solutions onto what they need to do.
Okay, perfect.
I really, really liked what you said a few minutes ago about most entrepreneurs failing. I feel that that's so important. And you'll find that most of the incredibly successful entrepreneurs out there have failed, not just once, but probably more than a couple times.
Right.
And I feel it's important because you have to learn from your mistakes. And it, like you said, it will definitely make you a stronger person, both a business person and just a person in general. I know this is, I'm probably going to touch a nerve here when I bring up this name, but look at Trump. Whatever your feelings are on politics, put that aside for a second. He's a successful businessman. No one in the world can deny that. And he's had multiple failures.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if he'll tell you, listen, no one knows failing business like me. Believe me, I know. I'm amazing.
I've had many failures, and I don't mind telling people. I've had many failures. I've had to crawl. I've had to pull myself out of that rabbit hole so many times, because you have to change with the economy. You have to have a niche. Okay. So when I first started my networking association in 2001, it was going to restaurants, going to hotels, passing out business cards, da. When we had the first episode of Katrina, it became a marketing business. We were out there helping everybody survive and get business. We were putting business cards on people's doorknobs, that kind of thing. You understand? So we have to change with the time. And I can tell you this, if you don't have a conglomerate of people, I want to say 5, because Zig Ziglar said you need 5 people, you will be very successful, okay? 5 people that you can call any time of the day or night that are there to have your back. That's all you need.
Right.
But in my network, we do what they call contact sphere groups, and the BNI did that, and a lot of the other ones do too, where you take an industry, Andy, and you actually put the people in the industry contact sphere group, like the plumbers, the electricians, all that, in one. So when they have a problem in that area, they're all getting referral business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something Rene and I want to bring back too. There's so much we want to bring back to the heart of Louisiana, but we need people. We need passion. We need teamwork.
No, that's. I think we're working on that. Was that Andy?
I know.
I was just going to say we need king cake.
Oh, you want king? I can mail you a king cake.
I would love it, but I can't have it, unfortunately. Thank you for the kind offer.
I can mail you one. But yeah, that's just something that we're doing. So people like Christy Green that jumps on tonight, because she's got to know 10 or 15 people that are in business that are hurting that she could send to you, Renee. You know?
Yeah, Christy's in the process of she's starting her faith group. She wants to start a faith group, and I think she's already started this. So she's going to be talking about that, to where she's putting a group together of women who are going through some challenges in faith, and so she's working on that. So we're working together on that, and Christy's working with me on just the back end of some different things. So we have a lot of things working. We have a lot of good people that are working behind the scenes.
I know. I'm very blessed.
So I'm glad that you and I have connected back again. And I'm looking forward to what we're going to do. And I'm going to help you with this 90-day program to where we can make that part of the What's Your Passion group, and get people more involved into really going through that and seeing how they can learn through the process.
If you follow it to a T, there's no reason why you cannot. Like I told you, the girl that worked at Women's Hospital, and she was becoming a grandmother, and she needed to retire after 15 years, and I put her on this plan, and she actually retired the day before she had circled the red date in her calendar. Mm-hmm. And she's a director now with the company, making about $20,000-$30,000 a month, $20,000-$30,000 a month. So, and she's enjoying her grandkids. So you want a why too. Why are you doing this? My why is to keep business owners from going down the rabbit hole that I had to go down. That's why I do it.
Well, I think that there's always a cause. There's always a reason why we're doing things, but at the same time, we have to stay alive, and so we have to go out and that. Trying to build a business, you can do so many things for free and things of that nature. But I do know that what we're doing right now is we are giving that time, and Lane's offering that time that is to help individuals really kind of get in the groove and understanding the processes. And then from there, we can figure out what else is going to be required to go to the next level. We have a marketing division that we're building up our media, to where helping individuals with the ability of learning how to do podcast or video and marketing strategies and things of that nature. So it starts off with what we can do, and what we're giving right now is basically trying to give you everything we possibly can. We're giving you everything from our time, our mistakes, our challenges, so we can help those individuals, like you're saying, Ghislaine, that if we can bring you into our community and guide you through the processes. And some people are at different levels. Some individuals are at the start. Some people are in the middle. Some people are already at a point to where they have a good business, but they're just struggling with maybe getting more contacts or more traffic or whatever it may be. So it really is a group of collaboration and bringing together each other's strengths and weaknesses so we can grow faster.
Right, exactly. Because we all have weaknesses. Like,
correct.
I have weaknesses. You have weaknesses. We all do. We all have strengths. Mm-hmm. And what my major strength is, I can take a problem and actually solve it. So I was able to help these ladies, be able to reach their dreams and their goals, because they couldn't see what I was seeing.
Right.
And so I want to offer that free from now to the end of February. Definitely.
Okay. Well, I do appreciate that, Lane. And we're going to wrap up the call, but I appreciate you coming on, and I will make sure we can try to
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it. God bless to all y'all, and I hope to see you next time.
Thank you, Ben.
Good night, Lane.
Bye-bye. Good night.
So, it's growing each week. I have so many different individuals that we have set up for additional podcasts and being on a show. And our goal each show is to really just bring on something, or bring you something of value in some way, shape, or form that's going to help you move to the next level. Have individuals come in like Lane and so many others that we're going to be having coming on. So to bring you any information or something that you can find that's going to help you move to the next level. So in wrapping up, in the next few weeks, you're going to start seeing more shows that I'm going to put out. Me and Andy are working on different podcasts with different speakers, and we're doing that on a weekly basis. So if you're wanting to be part of the show, whether live or if you want to do a podcast, I'm opening that up because I'm really looking for really interesting stories. I'm looking for people who are going through some different struggles. I'm looking for individuals who can share anything that they feel is going to bring value to our audience. And so I'm opening that up to individuals. Just reach out to me by email or social media channels. You can find me pretty much everywhere from LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I have different things that I'm building on my YouTube. If you can just help me out and support the show by going to my YouTube channel and subscribing and leaving any kind of comments, that if I've done anything in your life that has been some way, shape, or form helping you, that helps me kind of know if I'm really kind of reaching out and doing something for the audiences. In addition to, if you have any questions or if you want to learn something, let me know so I can make that part of our shows. You're going to start seeing different episodes, and you're going to see different videos on my channels, to where we're going to be separating it into different areas, to where we can be kind of a more learning based and make it short, anywhere between 10, 15, 30 minutes max of educational areas to help people kind of go from start to finish. So it's taking me some time to put those together, but I'm gradually just doing small videos at a time. So again, I want to thank you very much for coming on to the show tonight. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your feedback. Thank you very much, Christy, for coming on, Rebecca, Lane, and I know we have a few other individuals I can't see down the little chart here, but I do appreciate it. Any questions, let me know if there's anything that y'all have or any feedback.
You know what all the kids are saying nowadays? Comment, like, subscribe.
Right. Yeah. I gotta get better at that. Go down to subscribe. Ding. What is it? Ring the bell.
That's right. Hit the bell for notifications when we go live. And we'll be going live every week, every Tuesday evening. So be sure to check us out. Rene, thanks again.
Andy, I want to say thank you very, very much to my host, Andy. Man, he's just a lifesaver. He makes it all easy for me to be able to do this. But also, if you're looking to do a podcast, Andy can help you do the same thing.
Absolutely. All you got to do is reach out, and I don't have my contact info up here, but just get with Rene if you're looking for something like that, and we'll make it happen.
All right, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great night.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.